might be hard to see what's going on here, but this is a glassed in area with a hammock in it. And so I'm willing to bet that at minimum is out of the weather. It's possible that they make it comfortable for in the winter too. Hard to say, wouldn't know. But it looks fucking cool. And they've got cool shit inside there too. Oh, look, these hydrangeas look so pretty. Oh, they all crunchy and dry. That doesn't mean they're not pretty. Why is everything only pretty when it's fresh? When it's in one particular stage, it's young or, you know, it's vibrant stage. That's the only one that people want to take pictures of. And that's not cool. Everything's progress. Every part of it's part of the process. Why are only parts of the process welcome or encouraged or practiced? This sure leads to missing out on an awful lot. Because if you get good at noticing details, out in the wild, you know where else you're going to be good at noticing details? At home. With your beloveds. With yourself. Things won't just sneak up on you anymore if you slow down and can notice the details just in the everyday. Not only does it become, for me at least, a form of art, an artistic expression, also gives me opportunity to process stuff out of my body that needs to be processed. Gives me the opportunity to see other forms of life, people in other variations of life, people smiling. And the reason you gotta sometimes leave your neighborhood, if people don't look at each other and don't smile, that's not the neighborhood to walk in. Go find a nice one where people do that, where people are relaxed. That's what happens when you're in a neighborhood you're relaxed in. You smile more. You pay attention to neighbors more. You're willing to wave at strangers more when you're relaxed. I mean, no one's gonna deny that, right? Can't argue that. Just like, accept it. When people are relaxed, they are capable of being closer to their best selves. If you spend your entire experience afraid of everything and everyone and everywhere, then you spend all of your energy looking for safety threats, and you are unable to see the beauty that's also available, at least until you've practiced. Remember, we're coming back to practice. If you practice improving your clarity, improving your eyesight, improving your health, if you practice talking to other people in different ways, you practice taking better care of yourself, what seems like a reasonable result? Do you think you'll get better at something if you practice? Alright, so I am embodying my kind of snotty big sister or auntie or whatever. Sometimes I will want to embody the grounded wise auntie or grandma or whatever. Not always. Sometimes I just want to be silly. I don't know what plant this is, and I can't seem to quite tell if my camera is ever focusing. Goddamn motherfucker, come on. Camera and I don't seem to agree on what a and I also can't quite see. Really wanted to come get some shots of that bush, but I don't know. I think it's just that it's also time for me to get going. I've been out for quite a while, and now I have a lot of videos to upload. And I still have a lot of work to do today. So I gotta really prioritize what I'm gonna do, focus, rather than editing. I think any of these in my phone, I'm just gonna upload them and put chapters on them. Okay. So, continuation of my plan for editing indicators. So, we've already talked about, you hear the sound pop up, or you see the sound pop. Wait, where's the fig? I see figs. Oh my god. Let's check these out. Wonder if these taste good. Everybody's like, I can't try it, it's there for the tree. Well, if some are falling and they're like over the street, then you're fine. Okay, most of these produce so much. Oh, they're hard. I wonder if they're gonna soften. Looks like it's late in the season for this particular tree. Oh, this one's already bugs on. Goodness, it's just not. See, my shots are just really not working out anymore. I think it's because my the part that works really, that like teams up with my camera, says that's it. Come on, gotta fucking go home and get back to work. Editing. Okay, so maybe what I'll try to do is I'll try to remember to use a snap when I've been silent for a while, or if I like kind of want attention brought to a particular area, because I know that will spike the sound. So that'll also be an indicator of like, stop the fast forward and come pay attention or something. But what I want is to minimize the amount of work, minimize the amount of time required to listen to stuff before it can be edited, or make choices about how it's used, or put it in order, or whatever. So one of the things that's very apparent is that I cannot keep stressing myself out over organizing my thoughts in advance of speaking, in advance of recording, because one of the things that's really difficult for me is if I attempt to organize my thoughts in a order that people like, I have to spend a lot of time thinking about it first. Fortunately, I have ideas out of order. And that's hard for other people, because if I start speaking out of order, then they get annoyed. And they make me stop and tell them what I'm talking about. So hopefully that'll be a strategy that my partner and I will do. So once a B-roll video has had all the bad shots, well, first of all, no editing is required except removing the sound from B-roll. And then at some point, if it's going to be used for something, then that's when some actual editing would be done. Eventually, what I see for a lot of this is it is behind, it's when there's talking going on, but a person doesn't need to be seen or whatever. Gotcha, what was I thinking? Okay. So be paired with music and no talking. It'll also be paired with talking. the training. Yeah, I guess that's it. It's just the steps that I'm trying to figure out and keep trying to verbalize. So I guess maybe just at this point, write down the steps that I've already verbalized, and then that'll help me figure out what else I still need to say. So the other cue I will give when it is time to come back and pay attention to the sound is like I'll cover the camera screen, or just in some way try to draw attention to the screen, because my guess is not only will an editor be fast forwarding through this, through prattling and stuff. I want them to spend as little time as possible, like I said, having to listen to figure out what to edit. So I'm going to try and give as many clear cues as possible. It'll also help me identify where the chapters are. And so when I'm doing videos where the content is actually of interest, I will be going into the description and identifying which chapters I want the editor to actually pay attention to and do anything with. And if I spend at least 10 minutes per video just kind of quickly assessing what it's for, and maybe leaving a note as reassess at some point, putting the chapters in there will just speed things up. And I can prioritize, no need to come back to this until we're actually literally looking for B-roll of fall trees. So, Okay. I'm almost back to the house. I have to pee really bad. I also want to smoke before